Hey gang, just got a bunch of new subscribers overnight thanks to Bruce Pender's very generous shout out to me. And he touched on a few things that were spot on. All of us small engine guys like Bob, Double Wide 66, myself, 65 Ford has done a number of small engine or tractor videos. Donnie Boy, obviously. Bruce Pender, goes without saying. There are so many of it. Dave Ackerman, 1967. There are Roger O'Connor. There's so many of us that are in this community, and we're a tight-knit group. You'd think that'd be kind of strange with Bruce living in northwestern Canada, me living in Indiana, even Doug Sweener living down in Alabama, Mo, 65 Ford, living in Utah. Everybody lives in a different location, and we all have the same ideals. We want to pay it forward and help those who need the help, and that's why we do these educational channels. Absolutely free of charge. I don't do the Patreon thing. It's just a matter of choice. Could I? I could, but I don't need to. Often I'm asked, do I actually make money on my videos? No, I don't make money on the videos. What I make money on is on the advertisements that I permit to be on my videos through Google. And do I make a lot? No. Do I ever count on that money every month? No, because that money always goes right back into my video equipment to continually improve things as best I can. It goes towards tools, like over here right behind me you guys see the lid on Big Red that's open. If it wasn't for you guys and your viewerships and hitting that like button and subscribing and putting up with the ads that pop up, you guys wouldn't have bought me that toolbox. But I got that toolbox to bring you guys content. And you're like, well, how does that work? Well, if I'm working out of a shoebox digging for tools, the video quality is sort of kind of going to really suck because I'm hunting and pecking for tools, and so it helps expedite the video process. Doug Sweener recently did a video on himself, on what he's all about, on what's up, and it was moving, and I don't recollect in the nearly 900 videos that I've posted that I've ever dove into my life. And I first want to thank Tommy Hanlon for bringing up a story, and I'm going to share that story with the world right now. I had talked to Tommy. He had asked me a long time ago, and very good memory, Tommy, by the way. Had asked me a long time ago, how did you get the name Sean, spelled S-E-A-N? And I told him, well, I'm not Irish. It was a matter of a very courteous older gentleman. Now, we got to go back a lot of years, almost 52 years as a matter of fact, to August 10th of 1966. My mother is toting along my 2-year-old sister at the time, in labor. My father was at work, and my mother was taking herself to the hospital to check in to give birth to me. I almost didn't come to be, reason being my sister was born breech, and my mother came very close to dying. So I feel very fortunate in that respect to be on this earth. But how I got my name, how did I get the name Sean? Mom was trying to wrestle her bags, her overnight bag, and wrestle my daughter or my sister, and trying to get across the street. And this is in Wilmington, Delaware. I was born in Wilmington General Hospital in Delaware, the state of Delaware. And this elderly gentleman came up and, without asking, just grabbed Mom's bags and swept my sister up into his arms and grabbed a hold of Mom's arm and helped him across the street, or helped Mom across the street to get her into the hospital, got her into the hospital. And Mom was just so very, very thankful. She said, "Is there anything at all in the world that I can do to repay you?" And the fine Irish gentleman that he was said, "Don't you know, the only thing I'd like for you to do is, if you have a boy, name him a good Irish name. Name him Sean." I know my Irish accent sucks. So that's how I became Sean. You guys can tell from the very deep, dark tan that I don't have any Irish in me. Very, very little. American Indian, some German. I'm kind of a Heinz 57. Another little known fact about me is that I am a direct descendant of the bloodline of Geronimo. Just kind of cool, so whenever I'd go off the high dive at the local swimming pool, I'd always yell, "Uncle Geronimo," and everybody would look at me like I was nuts. But that's how I got my name, from elderly Irish gentleman who just asked that if Mom had a boy, name him Sean. So that's how I got that name. And Doug Sweener, as I started this, put a video up recently about himself and his history up to now. And Doug and I are very close in age. I'll be 52 in August. I believe he's 51 now. We've gone through similar hardships. I was a very, very, very hard worker. I started working and paying taxes at 14 years old. You say, how's that possible? Well, back then, work release, sign a work release, and you're working. And I worked my ever-living ass off my entire life. I worked very, very hard. Formal education? No. Naval education? Yes. Machinery repairman. Pretty much self-explanatory. The things I do here stems from that. And I'll try to keep this relatively short, but I really don't want to leave anything out. I am disabled. That was one of the biggest and hardest pills in the world to swallow, especially being the workaholic that I was, to be able to convince my brain that my body was no longer capable of supporting me financially. Mind you, this is going from $100,000+ a year to zero. I quickly found out that life is a choice. You can let everything that happens to you get you down, or you can let everything that happens to you in life be a life lesson. I chose the latter. I've always enjoyed learning. I've been a learner and a teacher. I have mentors. I have kids that see me as their mentor, which just absolutely humbles me to know him. It's just, and I'll help these children. Elliot's one, and Garrett is another. Christopher, the list of names goes on and on and on. You guys can't see my demographics, which shows the age groups, but my primary age groups of viewership are in the low teen to early 20s, and then a gap that jumps up from 50 to 80, 50 to 70, 50 to 80 years old. I think the age groups in between that is the generation that's just in too much of a hurry and just wants to get things done. But back to me, how I became disabled. On my 30th birthday, which is, there's another funny story in and of itself about that, and I'll share that with you. I was married twice. I am still very good friends with both of my ex-wives. My first ex-wife, the marriage was annulled because we were married shy of a year. Elaine, and she's a sweetheart, and she just got out of an abusive marriage herself, and kudos to her. I'm very, very proud of her for being able to do that. And my second wife is the mother of my two daughters, and they only ever know me to call them by their nicknames. It's Bugsy and Wiggle. How those names come about, story for another time. We're talking about me right now, and I have a hard time talking about me in case you can't tell. August 10th, 1996, the day that I turned 30 years old, I was out in Dale Hollow Lake down the Kentucky-Tennessee border, and had a rather nasty water skiing accident. Being the stubborn sort that I was, and the fact that it was a large group of us that went down, I just stayed there the whole weekend and then got back home. And I even tried to go to work that following Monday, and then I realized my ass is broken. Come to find out, I was in pretty bad shape. So, a number of surgeries and about 18 months recovery from that, and right back to work. Wasn't going to let a little mishap slow me down. Well, that little mishap had a lot of underlying ramifications to it that has caused a progressive deterioration of my joints, accelerated arthritis growth. I'm sure you guys have noticed these wonderfully crooked hands. I just went to have that finger looked at, and I was told I've got the arthritis of a 80-year-old man who worked manual labor all of his life. That arthritis flows throughout me. I have had 32 surgical procedures. 32 surgical procedures. It's almost incomprehensible. That's over the period of 22 years. 32. I'm grateful for every single one of them, because each one of them made me stronger as an individual, made me stronger mentally, and I can't thank my physicians and surgeons and brain surgeons and neurosurgeons and spinal surgeons and sports doctors enough for keeping Humpty Dumpty back together enough to bring you guys content. Fortunately, my family banded together and said, "Sean, you need to stop." I refused to quit working. I kept working. I was doing more and more and more damage to myself with every passing day. If I had listened to my doctors in 1996, I probably wouldn't be as bad off as I am now. And when I say bad off, you guys don't see videos of me coming out every single day. That's because I'm not capable every single day of coming out into this glorious shop and doing what it is that makes me happy. And that's being productive and helping my neighbors out. So we can fast forward from 1996 to 2006, 10 years. That was how much longer I worked before I finally succumbed to the realization that my body could no longer maintain the level of work that my mind was still plenty accustomed to. Very, very, like I said, a very, very big and hard pill to swallow. Been going on for about 15 minutes. That's not too bad. So, for everyone that has it rough and everyone that has it hard and everyone that thinks that the world is out to get them, that's a choice. I choose to accept the days where I'm unable and treasure the days where I am able. And the days when I am able, I'm not working on my own stuff, I'm working on other people's. Because it makes me happy and it makes me feel like a productive member of society. And I don't charge people except for parts. Whatever parts are incurred, that's what I get. There are some instances where, yes, my expertise is valuable. And in those cases, I always have a discussion with the person that I'm doing the work for and ask them what they think is fair. Sometimes what they think is fair, I don't see as being fair. But if it's fair to them, I'm okay with it because I don't do this to make money. I do not do this to make money. I do it to teach. I do it to further my education and to keep my brain sharp. I do it to keep from all of my joints and everything saying, okay, dude, this is the last day you're going to be able to come out to this shop and do anything. I can't accept that, and I won't accept that. I've broken my back in 2 places. I was paralyzed for a period of time. That's a scary thing. That's a really, really scary thing, to be paralyzed. I was one of the fortunate ones. I got my legs back. Not without its shortfalls. My left leg, from the knee down, only has about 60% feeling in it. But as long as I'm wearing a boot that's holding my ankle still, because I have a condition called drop foot, as long as I'm wearing a boot that holds my ankle firm, I can mosey, and most people would not notice that I have any kind of an issue. All 9,500 of you that have so graciously taken the time to hit the subscribe button, I thank you. You, along with 82% of my viewership who have not subscribed, have propelled my channel in almost 11 years to a very humbling, a very comfortable, and a very loving place where I've got so many friends. Case in point, all the plates that everyone has so graciously sent me, the lighters, everything else that everyone has sent me. Just, I have a piece of all of you right here with me inside this shop, and that's just the best thing in the world. That is a thank you beyond mere words. That is a permanent, hey, I'm here, I'm on your side, I got your back. And everybody knows I've got their back. I respond to 98% of my comments. And I want to always be able to do that. The reason I want to always be able to do that is because I'm a person and you're a person and you matter. You matter to me. I get lots and lots of questions on YouTube. I'm kind of getting off the beaten path. I get a lot of questions on YouTube, a lot of questions on my Gmail, a lot of questions on my Facebook page. But who I am and how I've gotten to where I'm at over the course of the last 11 years, y'all have helped me keep my sanity. The positive feelings and vibes and friendships that I have developed have helped to keep me pushing forward. There are times and days when getting out of bed is a monumental effort. Monumental effort. There's times when I'm stuck and it takes me 45 minutes to an hour to roll out of bed. There's other times I wake up, I am on my feet, I am out here in the shop, and I'm feeling good. You'll rarely hear me say that I feel great, because it's all relative. I'm always in pain, but I don't want any sympathies from anybody. if you take anything at all away from it, take away that life does not end. If you lose $100,000+ a year job because your body will no longer allow you to support yourself. Takes me to Stephen Hawking. Did he give up? His entire body gave out on him, but the one thing that he kept, he made very, very good use of. I don't compare myself to him, but that's how I feel about the whole thing. It's up to me. It's totally up to me. Whether I wake up tomorrow and be pissed off at the world for the cards that have been dealt to me, or if I wake up tomorrow and hear the birds chirping, smell the lilacs and smell the lilies, smell all the wonderful scents and some of the not so wonderful scents. I'm grateful to wake up every day, and I'm grateful again for every single one of you. My channel has about 5.5 million views on it over the course of almost 11 years. I cannot count how many people have benefited from my videos. I can't count how many of those people have benefited me personally and who have touched my life personally. There's a lot of you out there, and those of you who are out there, you know who you are. Like Tommy Hanlon, remembering all these years later about the story on how I got my name. But I want to bid you all a very fond and wonderful day after 4th of July, Independence Day. I believe it was Canada Day for those of you up north. I also want to thank everybody who supports my channel. Bruce for the shout out, definitely. And I love you guys. If I didn't, I wouldn't do this. You guys are helping to keep me vertical. You guys are helping to keep me from giving up on doing anything and just sitting there and feeling sorry for myself. It's not an option. All right. I'm going to end it because I've got some work to do. And I do want to thank Mr. Dewey. Mr. Dewey knows what for. And I'm going to be getting with him. I'm not going to go with the rotary phase converter on the mill. I'm going to go with the VFD, variable frequency drive, which will allow me to just plug the mill into 110. Transfer the 3-phase motor that's on there and be able to reverse it and increase and decrease the speed of the mill via the VFD. But you guys will see all that when that takes place. I do have to wait for Larry to get back from Virginia. He's going to Virginia to meet up with his brother, bring his brother back for a visit. When he gets back, he and I in his trailer and his little compact tractor are going to pluck the mill out and get it over here. So, I don't know if you guys can see back here over my shoulder, I have this area here to get cleared out. So, I'm going to do a little bit of work on that. This is your friendly neighborhood Zippo. Again, guys, thank you so very, very much for hanging out with me for almost 24 minutes. It'll be after 24 minutes here in 2 seconds. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you have questions, ask them. If you have your own story, tell it. Everybody has a hard knock every now and again. It's how you land on your feet that matters. So there's a little bit about Zippo. Just about, well, almost just about Zippo, as close as I can get. Because like I say, I don't like talking about myself. All right, that's it. I promise you guys, I will see you on the next one. If you would, please give me a big thumbs up. And look out for quick tips, because I've got one coming to you here in just a couple of minutes. Well, that's not going to work for you guys. You'll just see the quick tip posted. Catch you guys on the next one. Later. I am out of here.